Don't forget.
Got it. Keep in mind, I'm working from a single screen tonight, too. I didn't bring the...
Second monitor down.
Yeah, I didn't bring the second monitor out with me. We go on your call.
All right, let's do it.
All right. This week on the Media Virus Podcast, Californians better like food 3 or 5 harm with. I'm going to start over.
All right.
This week on the Media Virus Podcast, Californians better like food with 3 or 5 harmful chemicals as their state bans 4 harmful chemicals in food. This one's for the crazy right and the batshit left. All that peace that Trump left in the Middle East seems to have been screwed up by the Biden administration as Hamas attacks Israeli targets. In an effort to trick stupid voters, the Biden administration exercises executive power to get the border wall built. In the B block, we discussed the dirty secrets of historical figures. Getting tatted as currency, Maddie did not get shot in Claymont, more shit, stuff, and things, just the tips number 60, and whatever else comes up on this, the 153rd episode of the Media Virus Podcast. It's the Media Virus Podcast. Let's point and laugh at the world burning around us with executive producer Mike Latoris. We're going to start over. BBC correspondent Stanley McFadden.
Makes me tingly in an unfamiliar way.
Grease Monkey Pete.
Damn, Big Daddy.
Here's the thing about the Media Virus Podcast. It's really well done.
And now, spreading the sage nihilism of an aged Gen Xer, your host and mine, the star of our show, the incomparable Maddie Rockdeath.
Hot damn, do we have a show for you people this week. I am Matty Rockdeath, the mattiest of all Rockdeaths, and proof positive that anyone can have a podcast. Speaking of, welcome to the Media Virus Podcast. Please like, subscribe, follow, and share. I want to take a minute, and I want to thank all of our new subscribers for their support. Whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or if you're just checking us out on themediavirus.com, thank you. And as always, you can give us a call here at 646-VIRUS-01. Mike's got nothing to point out. 646-VIRUS-01. You might make it on the show. You know, who knows? We've got, when I say we got a show, we got a fire burning in the background? We got dogs barking. This is a show. This is what the Media Virus was supposed to be.
We're live from the back 40 at Morningwood.
That's right. Mike has decided to take his take his part into his backyard and let us enjoy the fire and drink some beers. He's got Dave tending the fire over there, and
the anonymous fire tender.
The anonymous fire tender.
Uncle Dave, the anonymous fire tender.
Okay, Dave's a very common name. I know like 7 dudes named Dave. But with everything in the news about how we've, pretty much started World War III, has got me to thinking that we should stock up on some things. And, one of my favorite flavors is blue raspberry.
Well,
but, like sodas and candies and stuff, they have a lot of unwanted chemicals. So I decided that I was just going to go buy some blue raspberries, right?
Right.
And, they're really hard to find. Every store I go into, I go, hey, do you have blue raspberries? And they don't fucking have them. People are fucking stupid.
It's a bit.
And it's like, what? Where are they? Where are the blue raspberries? They just look at me like there's something wrong with me. And, like, oh, what are you fucking stupid? Blue raspberries. What the fuck? They keep them on the same fucking farm as chocolate cows. You know that?
That would track. Track.
One thing, I've been watching a lot of TikToks, and apparently, basically, California has banned Skittles.
That's essentially where this goes. Now, I made light of it in the top 3, saying that you'll be okay if it's 3 chemicals, you'll be okay if it's 5, but anything with 4 is a problem. I think they're trying to ban 4 specific chemicals. I may have not taken that the right way.
Now, I know that, speaking of taking things like kind of maybe the wrong way is, I used to work in a cabinet shop and we used to have all these, chemicals that were obviously hazardous because they would burn you.
Right.
And it, and the can always said, this product has been shown in the state of California to cause cancer.
Not
And my answer was always, well, we're not in fucking California, are we? You don't have to worry about a goddamn thing. You don't get cancer unless you're in California. Because the outlook, what you should, the takeaway, the lesson here is, don't go to California.
Yeah, stay away from California. People get sick there.
Yeah, especially if you like Skittles.
Yeah, in a groundbreaking move for food safety, California has become the first state in the U.S. to enact California Food Safety Act, signed into law by Governor Gavin Newsom. The legislation, authored by Assemblymember Jesse Gabriel, bans 4 harmful chemicals: bromated vegetable oil, or brominated vegetable oil, potassium bromate.
What's the problem with bros?
I'm sorry.
What's the problem with bros? If the vegetable oil are bros, they've been brominated. You and I are brominated.
I know a couple of chicks who got brominated.
Bros before hoes.
Right, brominates before hominates.
So where was I? Oh, propylparaben and red dye number 3 from candy, cereal, soda, and other processed foods sold and produced within the state. These chemicals have been linked to various health issues, including hyperactivity, nervous system damage, and an increased risk of cancer. Notably, all 4 additives are already banned by European regulators, showcasing California's commitment to aligning with global food safety standards.
Fuck, you know what? Well, really, honestly, you can't eat anything.
Well, no.
Everything is fucking made from... Yeah, everything good is fucking made from chemicals and bullshit that you can't eat. It's all got whatever,
Well, even the natural stuff, it's the stuff that'll kill you that you like.
Oh, that's true. But you can't, I would eat healthy or farm to table or whatever if I didn't have to put up with the people. You know what I mean?
You mean the people you have to go to get it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Smelly fucking hippies and shit. There's some guy in a nice suit, manicured nails. I'd buy fucking produce from that guy.
Would you?
I don't know. Probably not. I don't buy a lot of produce anyway. I'm not buying produce till I can find some. I've put on 30 pounds in 3 months. It's not.
I want to buy fruits and vegetables from a guy I don't have to question where he gets his fertilizer from.
I want to get my fertilizer from a guy who questions where he gets his fruits and vegetables. You know what I'm saying? That's the good stuff. Oh yeah.
You get all those fruits and vegetables. Yeah, so they're trying to knock these chemicals out of the diet, and
I wanted to go on a diatribe of how the left wants to control everything.
They do, but
also these seem like pretty bad chemicals.
Yeah,
it came across like you said, purple paraben, but it's
propyl. Propyl.
Propyl.
Like the chemical name propyl.
Propyl. Right. But it's not.
It's the derivative that's refined out of regular paraben.
Right. Paraben's just wax.
Yeah.
People don't know. That's what.
But then you melt that down and you distill something off of it, which apparently is propyl paraben.
Yeah, and I think that the reason they're calling this, the Skittles ban, is because Skittles contain all 4 of those chemicals.
Yep.
So,
in fact,
I've never really been a big Skittles fan.
No, but it's not been that long ago. I saw somebody who brought a package of Skittles back from Europe and sat them side by side with the American version, and there was no comparison.
Ours looked way cooler.
Right, but they didn't look near. They looked like they were going to hurt you. They were pretty, but they looked like they were going to hurt you.
They kind of just gray and kind of.
No, he's talking about the American
muted.
Skittles.
The European ones were they're a little blander in color.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is
They tasted the
look
same,
a little
right?
like they looked like mellow, kind of mopey colored.
I should go check because Skittles makes drink mixes, and they're delicious. And now I'm wondering if those
I've
colors,
never tried Skittles drink mixes.
dude. I can't believe you went to Becky's and didn't fucking try Skittles drink mixes. She has Skittles drinks mixes. She has the one, dude. They get these ones from
Are they
Starbucks.
powdered or are they like the
Yeah,
drop?
they're those little packets that
Yeah,
you rip open.
the single serving package. You put them in a
Yeah.
water bottle.
Right,
Okay.
exactly.
I didn't see this.
Just like fucking Skittles. But now I'm like I guess they don't have the wax, right? But the wax is what makes it have that consistency.
That particular type of wax.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, they're using basically Europe's going back to having to use old school methods of making candy. So you're getting real candy over there. If you've ever had a piece of chocolate, like a just a drugstore chocolate bar from somewhere other than the United States, it's different. And it's different because of the way that it's done.
I'll tell you, candy is different than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
because
what you get outside of the U.S. is entirely different than what you get here.
But I mean, it's even completely different than it was. Because I was just telling this story of the highest thing I've ever eaten, and I was like, we had smoked hash, and I went to Wawa, and Wawa, they might still do it. They might give you like a toasted roll with butter.
Yeah, you can do that.
Right? So a toasted roll with butter, okay? And then you take a Take 5 bar and you stick that in there.
Right.
I'm intrigued.
It's fucking delicious, dude. 'Cause you get extra butter is a secret too.
You
get extra butter. So it's real fucking buttery, and then you gotta let the Take 5 bar melt.
Those 300-pound pictures you showed me, they don't even surprise me anymore.
No.
This is starting to make sense.
It's all beginning to make sense.
This was like this was before I found out I was diabetic.
Was it?
Before I found out.
This wasn't like when you found out you went and did this.
No. This was before I found out I was diabetic. And,
so that's what you cut out of your diet.
Yeah, I stopped eating those.
The buttered, the toasted buttered sub roll.
But it was every
inside.
It was every day, every day after practice. Practice was on Tuesday nights. Practice was on Monday nights.
To be clear, this was not football practice or lacrosse practice. This was band practice.
It was band practice. So and there was a Wawa on the way home, and I would do that.
Right.
Fucking amazing. But I was eating.
I'm going to ask you one simple question, Matt.
Yes.
Do you put butter on your Pop-Tarts?
I've tried it. It's delicious.
Have you ever put butter on the Pop-Tart?
Guilty.
I've tried it. It's delicious.
Yes, it's completely delicious.
My ex-wife used to talk about her father in very unflattering ways. And she said she used to put butter on donuts. So like one day I just had to try that.
He wasn't wrong, was he?
He's not a nice guy, but
he knew what was tasty.
He did. But I was just eating a Take 5 bar, right? And it's nowhere near what it was.
No.
Back then.
Candy bars are much smaller than when we were kids, too.
And the chocolate's not the same. Like, they changed the chocolate recipe or something.
Yeah, they definitely changed the chocolate recipe from days of old.
There's wax in it now. They're using it's cheaper chocolate.
Yes, absolutely. 100% agree.
And that's why European chocolate or chocolate from even England is so much different.
Right.
Like I one of the things that I did when we were in Bermuda was I ran out and I made sure I bought a bag full of British candy bars because they're still they're still connected.
Yeah.
Even though they're 53 miles off or nautical miles off of Hatteras.
Chocolate will be scarce soon. Real chocolate will be scarce soon.
I mean, they are bitching.
Imagine coffee's going to be pretty scarce after a while.
And harvest.
Once World War III really kicks in, I mean, now we've seen the start of it. with Hamas.
I mean, we've got some things going on over in Ukraine.
I saw this thing that I found really interesting. It was somebody saying, the Ukraine war has been going on for a couple years now, and
Almost, yeah.
and we haven't really seen a whole lot of like footage from that war.
Not anymore. No, they've.
But the Hamas, this Hamas Israel attack,
Mm-hmm.
like you can live stream it. You can just watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can. I mean, thank God, dude. I didn't know what CNN was going to do. You know what I mean? CNN's probably behind the fuck. They probably funded Hamas to fucking keep the to keep their station afloat. Because without Trump, what do they have? They got nothing.
Yeah, I mean, they do ride a war pretty well. They learned that.
They know how to do that. They know how to frame it just the right way.
They've been riding a war since the mid '90s, right? Early to mid '90s.
Well, wasn't it? That was the early '90s that CNN really took off from.
Well, we had the Iraq War. They were on all the time. You had Oklahoma City bombing. You had the first Trade Center bombing. All that stuff that developed the 24-hour news cycle.
Yeah.
Which is actually why I left this. When I asked for the copy for this story, it sort of didn't give me what I wanted, but I liked what it gave me. It, for some reason, took all of the headers from the page as far as, a U.S. news, world news, politics, business, and marketing.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, what the fuck?
And it wrote blurbs that would be relevant to read in any of those sections as you're doing the news.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Let's get into what AI gave you.
Well, it's for U.S. news. The situation in the Middle East continues to escalate as Israel declares war on Hamas, responding to an unprecedented attack that has left over 1,200 people dead in Israel. The conflict involves air, sea, and land operations, with both sides sustaining heavy casualties. Israel has initiated Operation Sword of Iron, targeting suspected Hamas and Islamic Jihad locations in Gaza. Okay, so that's the American version.
Jesus. Well, what's the international version?
The international version is: the international community closely watches the conflict, with concerns rising about the potential for a wider regional war. Speculation surrounds the possibility of external assistance to Hamas, with Israel claiming Iran's support. The U.S. has sent a carrier strike group to the eastern Mediterranean, while also deploying additional fighter jets to deter potential aggressions.
Jeez.
So
this is
our end of it didn't mention we sent anything. The U.S. headline, right?
Right.
Well,
that's the best part.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of politics involved with this. So let's see what
there is. Now, I've been hearing a lot of fucking. Oh, you want to read the political part?
Yeah, we got political.
All right, let's do that.
Paragraph. Tensions between the Israelis and Palestinians have a long history, dating back to before Israel's founding in 1948. The recent violence follows a series of events, including attacks on women, the desecration of the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and the ongoing siege of Gaza, as stated by Hamas. So it kind of gets into their back and forth.
Yeah. There's so much like shit out there about this that I don't even know, honestly, what the truth is. I mean, I know Hamas is. Here's the thing too: is like people say that the underdog story is like America's favorite story. I mean, that was the story. The story of America was the underdog, tired of.
Yeah, I mean, we were
tired of imperial aggression. One of our favorite movies is everyone's, especially Gen X, Star Wars.
Underdog story.
And that's like I was thinking about that, hand gliders and motorcycles is like an X-wing destroying the Death Star, really.
Right.
And if you want to put it, I'm not saying I root for anybody. I'm just saying if you want to put it into put it into comparison, that was a ballsy move.
Yeah.
But then they decide to keep all their weapons and caches and shit like that, like in populated towns.
Well, they do that on purpose. They
Yeah.
don't want them to get.
Well, no,
They
you
don't
just
wanna
want to
get
make Israel
blown
look
up.
bad. That's all you want to do is make Israel look bad.
Yep.
So
There's a weather angle.
how the fuck does this affect the weather?
While weather updates are essential, the urgency of the conflict in the Middle East dominates the headlines, with little room for other news.
Well, I mean, the weather is on the, there's a dedicated station for the weather.
Well,
We don't need.
there's an angle for coupons.
Okay.
In a stark departure from the usual consumer-oriented content, coupon sections remain overshadowed by the gravity of the ongoing conflict.
I don't think they're going to be overshadowed. I think they're going to be looked at more than ever. But like the coupon section is a section in the newspaper. Not many people get newspapers anymore. Most people get their news from the internets.
Yeah?
And coupons just somehow arrive in your mailbox.
They do.
They
do.
Just kind of show up.
They come by.
I thought you were gonna say something like, there's a coupon, kill 2 Palestinians and, get a
Free yarmulke.
get a free yarmulke.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. I thought you were gonna say something like that when there was a coupon angle, and I was like, this is kind of boring.
Wow.
Pete walks in with the haymakers. You don't
Always.
fuck around. The haymaker.
I have no agenda. I have no filter.
Terribly offensive jokes from Pete. Terribly offensive jokes from Pete. You know what else is terribly offensive? It's when your intelligence is insulted.
Yes.
And I think that's what we have here. Apparently, the Biden administration has invoked executive power to greenlight the construction of a new section of U.S.-Mexico border wall in South Texas. This marks a departure from earlier promises to cease such construction, with President Joe Biden defending the decision, citing the need to address high illegal entry in the region.
He's also said that he doesn't think walls work. He said it in the same press conference where they're building a wall. And so, well, the money is allocated to the wall, and the money has to go where it's allocated to. And like, can't you just reallocate the money? Like, no, you can't. Oh, what the fuck?
If he's using executive powers to do it, then whatever.
Is there more to it? This story?
Apparently the rest of the issue is because I guess in order to create the funding, it also suspends the environmental protection laws as far as like the Clean Air Act and the Safe Drinking Water Act to get it built. So like they don't have to build it to any good standards. They can pollute. They can pollute and fuck up the environment as much as they need to get this wall built.
Damn.
That just fucking tickles me. Because
Is
he's the environmental candidate. He was.
So they saw the sign that said, you get to choose 3, like cheap, fast, or good.
I'll take none of them.
And, yeah, he chose none.
None of them.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's election time's coming, so
It's not a wall. Remember that.
this is so you can specifically turn back and say, "Hey, I built some wall." When was the last time he built some wall? That's all it's about.
Office. Right before he left, he was building a wall.
That's all it's about is making sure that the stupid voters know that he built some wall.
You know what? If anyone is really, really thinking about this election, just take a look at RFK. That's all I'm saying. I think RFK is a great candidate.
The Kennedy family has now denounced him.
What?
The Kennedy family denounced his candidacy.
That's even better. That's because he's running against all odds. He's running because he thinks he has to.
Hey,
You know,
sometimes that's the best reason.
he makes sense. It just makes fucking sense.
That's not allowed in politics.
It's not. That's the problem. I don't know.
Not allowed.
But yeah, we're he had to use executive powers
To
cut
build.
through the red tape.
Yep. And that's all it was. He suspended a couple of environmental orders and let them continue working.
That's fantastic. Good.
It's all
Good for him.
It's also how a lot of construction gets done
Well,
or stopped, depending on which side of that you're on.
right. Surprised we don't have a big uproar from environmentalists. And
I imagine they're trying.
but we should be hearing about it. We should be hearing this uproar from both the environmentalists and the immigration advocates. They should be losing their shit, but they're not losing their shit. I don't understand why.
Because they're getting something on the back end somewhere. They have to.
Or it's just their guy, and they don't have marching orders to go fucking destroy buildings,
It's not on. If it's not in the talking points, you're not supposed to say it.
right? We can't talk. We can't. Nobody can oppose Biden because when you oppose Biden, you look like you support Trump.
Right.
And that's you can both things can be true at once. You can not like Biden and not like Trump.
Like I tell everybody that says, "Oh, you're probably no, I don't like either of them." But thank you for asking.
You know, don't assume who you think. Don't assume you know me from a couple of conversations there, dumbass. You know, you could probably listen to every fucking show we've ever done and still not know where I stand on anything.
And
Except for cannabis use.
Facts.
Everybody knows where I stand on cannabis use.
pro,
I'm for it.
There's that.
pro.
I'm definitely for it. I'm definitely a pro. I know that much. But I'm for it. And I don't dude, it's the same old rhetoric over and over again, but nobody's standing up. Nobody stands up to this president.
No.
We're running out of time, but nobody stands up like they did to Trump, because it was cool to stand up to Trump. Everybody applauded you when you stood up to Trump. You stand up to Biden, all of it. You're shunned. You're shunned immediately.
You're a pariah.
And it's and that just seems to be and like I'm waiting for Biden to show up naked. I'm literally waiting for him to show up naked, and everybody's got to fucking pretend.
That he really has pants on. Yeah, the emperor has no clothes.
Yeah,
The emperor in his new clothes, right?
New clothes.
Somebody sends him this brilliant new fabric.
yeah, yep. I'm waiting for it to happen because he has no idea. I mean, it could just be like he just wanders off into the White House lawn thinking he wore his robe and he didn't. That could have been it. But nobody would. You think anybody would tell him he's naked? You know what I mean?
If you look around, probably not. I mean, that
Probably fucking
seems
not.
like he's got a bunch. He's surrounded by yes people.
Surrounded by puppeteers is what he's fucking surrounded by.
Oh, that too.
He doesn't know who. He doesn't know he signed that order. He doesn't
Probably
fucking
not.
know anything. Fucking ridiculous. What's coming up in the B block, Mike? What are we going to talk about next?
In the B block, we're going to talk about some of the dirty secrets of historical figures. We're going to talk about a guy who got tatted as currency so that he could use the having that tattoo as a means of paying for an OnlyFans subscription. Apparently, you did not get shot in Claymont this past week.
No, that was not me.
I
There's
thought
been
that
a
was
lot of shots in Claymont, but it was not.
an important story to bring up since we have somebody that was there. The women's conference got crashed, and we're going to do a follow-up. I've got some follow-up information on the FCC test of the cell phones in the emergency alerts.
All right. Well, that sounds like a good show. If it's, as you're hearing this, it's Friday. If you're hearing this early enough, you want to head on over to Booth's Corner, see me at Pure Shaka, or just come fucking hang out. You can do that. I'll be there from 1 to 4.
1 to 4 on Friday?
That's right.
In the Booth Wind Farmers Market?
That is right. So come on, and I'll give you a free sample of CBD foods. That's
free
right.
Samples.
That's right.
Sounds like a good time.
It is a good time, just like the show.
And you know what? On this show, we also have some other sponsors. Tonight's podcast is brought to you by 302-46 Voice for all your voiceover and voice needs. If you need something said, you can pay me to say it. I will. Over at My Sports Art Shop on Redbubble, you can check out Marcel's Sports Shop over there. He's got all kinds of. He's got a lot of Halloween up now. He's got a lot of animals and sports combined images that are available for print on all manner of gifts, from mugs to T-shirts and things like that. Go check that out. And you also want to check out our good friend, staff writer Bill at Disruptive Minds Podcast. You can find that over on Spotify. We listen from time to time because we think it's a good show to listen to. So that's what's coming up in our B block. In our C block, we're going to have just the tips number 60 or number 60. Ooh, number 60. And we're going to go into Maddie's TikTok Nonsense Corner. And that's how we do it here on the Media Virus Podcast. You can reach us at 302-646-VIRUS01. That's 302-646-VIRUS01. You can email me at pml@themediavirus.com. You can get Maddie at maddie@themediavirus.com. And Pete also has one, pete@themediavirus.com. Trying to think. What else is there, Matt? I think that's about it, right?
That is it.
All right. Well, then we'll be back for 153B right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, Raspberry Tea Bag!
Raspberry Tea Bag.
We got like 8 minutes.
Oh. We ran out of stuff.
Yeah, we ran out of funny.
Oh, we did great. We did great. What's wrong with that?
I don't know if anybody noticed this, but I used ChatGPT to make the description based off of last week, based off of the closed captioning.
Yeah.
And it transcribes 646 virus 01 to the actual numbers.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Huh.
I found that impressive. I didn't know if you went back and did that or not.
No.
And then I remembered you couldn't figure that out.
No, I mean, I could. I could if I had a phone in front of me.
I was like, there's no way. He didn't do
Yeah,
that.
you want to push him in front of that bus any harder, Mike?
I mean, if I had the phone in front of me, I could
Whoa.
figure it out.
TMVP. So, you're not getting a lot of slapback or anything from me?